welcome. This is Amanda, Nerdy Crafter. I am doing a card today for Pajama Crafter stamps. This is our beautiful new set. It is Birds of a Feather. I will be making multiple cards with this, so make sure to check back over the next few days to see all the different cards that I put together with this set. I just started. I pulled up the set, I started stamping it, and I started coming up with all these amazing ideas. So I think I ended up making like 3 or 4 cards. So come back and see all the amazing cards you can make with this gorgeous set. I got inspired by also these Lisa Horton interference inks. They are breathtaking. I love the metallic in them. They really pop off the page. So we'll be using those today to do some watercoloring and some ink blending and just having a lot of fun. I love to make quick, fast, simple cards. So I'm going to be focusing on how you can make a card in just a few minutes. You get this gorgeous idea and then you just want to put it together. So let's jump in and get started. So I am going to pull in my mat here. And I love to use a laminated mat. We do sell those in the store, so if you need to get one of them, just holler. So our inks today, what this is the interference inks. This left side here shows the color of the ink when it is on white paper, and this right side shows the color of the ink when it is on black paper. So it's beautiful, beautiful that you can ink blend on both mediums. It's really hard to find an ink that does really good on black. But this ink does. So what I'm doing is I'm just tapping this off on my pad here. And I'm going to be doing some ink blending and watercoloring with this. So for our green, we have Magic Garden. For our turquoise here, we have Peacock Tails. And for our lavender or our purple, we have Lavender Fields. So we have those 3 colors with us today. Put those off to the side just in case I need a little extra. So the first thing I'm going to pull in is this beautiful feather. This feather really just spoke to me. It's just breathtaking. So what I did is I die cut out the feather here. Probably going to need to grab a black piece of paper so you can see this. So, that's glimmer. Oh, we could use it just back of this. So I die cut this out of my paper here. So I added my sentiment. I die cut this out. And then it's going to have a peekaboo. So we're going to have a little something come in behind here. But then I'm going to add the feather on kind of off-centered a little bit. So that's how I got my set started here. So I'm going to come in with my feather. And I am going to go ahead and grab a piece of black so it's easier to see this. And then you will be able to see how these inks actually blend on that also. So again, I saw this from another YouTuber. She does this beautiful ink smooshing technique, and she uses a plastic bag with a wrapped up paper towel in here. I'm going to try to find her YouTube channel, and I will link it in here. I decided to go and get this round sponge, place it in a plastic bag, and of course we have to add a little bit of bow to it. So that's what we're going to be ink blending with today. It is a little noisy on the video. I do apologize for that. I will try to tone it down a little bit. But the nice part about it is because it is small, it's compact, I can hold it in my hand. And when I'm picking up the ink, it lets me control where it goes a little bit better. And it also dries really fast because I'm not picking up very much ink. You can see there's just a teeny bit on here. And then I'm just going to come through and tap that out on my feather. Now, as you can see, this color is coming up green here, but purple on my black. It is so cool that this comes out in 2 different colors. I'm going to grab my blue. Same thing, just quickly tap, tap, tap. I'm just wiping this off with a paper towel really quick. And then I'm going to grab some of that purple. These colors are just breathtaking. I don't have to wait very long in between. I am going to let this dry just a little, and I think I'm going to come back in with a little bit more of that purple. That purple just really is speaking to me. So I'm going to let that sit and dry for a second. And then I'm going to come in with this. So this is my top cover here, and I want to ink splatter just a few of these colors onto it. So I'm grabbing, I use just this little medicine bottle that I get, and once it's done, I use that for my water. When I seal it, it doesn't leak whenever I'm going anywhere, so that's really nice for traveling, or just placing it in your bag when you're traveling. And I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to splatter a little bit. I do generally do this in a box. I don't make a mess, but for today's purposes, I'm going to be just very gentle and just add a few splatters here and there. I'm going to clean my brush off in between. I do add water here. I don't pinch off my brush like I normally do when I'm doing ink splattering. So for ink splattering, I do more of the wet on wet, where I leave my brush very wet, pick up the color, and splatter, splatter, splatter. I clean my brush in between each color. And just splatter these colors down. Perfect. Okay, so now we've got the colors down. I'm going to give that just a second to dry, and I'm going to bring back in my beautiful feather, and I'm just going to add another layer of that purple on. Quick, fast, simple. Wipe that down. Okay, and I'm going to place this off to the side and let that dry. And now I'm going to bring in these cute little birds on a line. So what I'm thinking is placing a couple of these birds peeking through my feather here. So we can see that a little bit better. Let's actually put that back on black, sorry. So we're going to bring that black back in. So my little birdies on a little branch here, and just a couple of them. So I just need to color just these back two here, peeking through that feather. So let's see what colors we want to do. I think I might bring in a little bit of the yellow for this. So I'm going to bring in some yellow. So now, when we're watercoloring images, one of the things is the faces. The faces, we want to leave those fairly light because that is where the light is hitting them. That's going to be a nice focal point to help pull that in. So I've added some water. I'm just tapping in a little bit of my ink. I'm going to tap it off, and I'm just going to come into the face, and I'm going to be using like a tapping patting technique. The reason I'm doing that is because these birds have feathers on them. And so I want to give it a little bit of texture. So I dipped back in my water. I'm tapping this out to let the colors bleed a little bit, blend in. So I've just done a little bit of color right around the face there. Next, I'm going to grab some water. I'm going to pinch it off again. This technique of pinching off the color allows for a little bit more control again. Allows you to place your color where you want it. We go on lighter, and then we always can go on darker later. So less is more when you're doing this. Pinch off the color, grab our next color, and I'm just tapping that color in. Super quick, super fast. Add a little bit to the tail. If the water gets, the colors get a little too diluted out and I need to add a little bit more to it, I can go in and add a little bit more. Coming in for this purple, this lavender purple is just breathtaking. Actually, I'm going to add a little bit more to the lavender shimmer here because I do want it to be a little bit stronger color. So just tap in there, little picked up, and just tapping this in. So there's a couple different ways that you can do it. So if the color's not moving, I'm going to grab some more water, grab the water, pinch it off. You can do like a brush stroke, so you get like the look of feathers. You can do the tap, kind of whatever speaks to you and whatever method you like. So I'm probably going to do just a little bit of both of this because I do like the flick technique where you can kind of see a little bit of that texture. So here's where we're at. Don't be afraid to leave some white in there. Very different than some of the other mediums. Some of the other mediums are very much into no white, color everything in. But with this technique, with the watercolor, color outside the lines, leave some white. It's kind of counterintuitive. It's a little bit different, but it's good. Just play. Just have fun. Remember, loosen up your shoulders. Don't overthink it. Don't get right on top of your project. And and get so stressed out with it. It is fun and relaxing, and it's just paper. You can always grab another sheet and start over if for some reason something goes wrong. But remember, this is just fun, calm, relaxing. Enjoy. Sometimes when I'm teaching a class, I have to tell my students, stand up, shake out your shoulders, release the stress, because we get so stressed out when we're working on our projects. And with this, we don't want that. We don't want to be stressed out. We don't want to overthink it. Just relax, have fun, enjoy. I'm coming over here and I'm grabbing out a couple of my micron pens here to add a little bit of detail. I do come in with my twin tones to add a little bit of detail. I like to darken in these eyes a little bit, come in and darken in that beak a little bit. It really makes your image pop when you just bring a little bit of texture in. When we darken these in, you can also come in and you can bring a little texture back in. Sometimes when we're watercoloring, we lose some of our artist lines, but we can come back in and add those in. So there is a little branch that these cute little birdies are sitting on. Their little feet are down here. So I'm just coming in, just adding a little more texture, a little bit more lines into here. For my white, I love this Posca pen. So this is a Posca. So this is more of a paint pen, and I'm just going to lightly come in, add a little bit of eyeball in there. And it's such a small image, such a small spot, I may not be able to get it in. No, it's not working with the Posca pen today. That's okay. So, this is where we're at with our cute little images. Aren't these adorable? We got that metallic in there. You can see the shimmer. So now, let's put this all together. Again, quick, fast, simple card. I'm going to pull this out of the way. We're going to get started putting our card together. So let me grab all of our goodies here. So for this card, I decided I wanted a little bit of metallic. So sorry for the shine. It'll be on here for just a second. I'm using this gorgeous metallic paper. I figured this set just needed a little bit of bling to it. Using my glue press, which I love dearly. It helps so much when you're gluing lots of stuff. Your hands don't get sore. I do replace the glue that comes in it. I love a Barely Art glue. So that is a glue that I put in the bottle. It works amazing. It is one of my favorite glues. It can ship year round, so that is super helpful. So let's see. I decided I didn't want to watercolor the background, so I'm going to put a little background in here. I'm just trying to decide if I want to pop this up or just pop the feather up. I think I'm just going to pop the feather up. So we're going to put this behind, but we have to put our little birdies in first. So let's come in with our birdies, kind of line up where those birdies are going to be. Probably go down a little bit right there. And then I'm going to just come in and add some glue to this side, these little birdies over here, because they're the ones that are going to actually be glued down to my paper. There we go. So just have a little bit of peekaboo coming through. You can see that. And then I'm going to add this paper. This is gorgeous paper. It is from Brass and Bliss. They have some beautiful background pages in there. Makes it really nice and simple to build a scene. Look, isn't that gorgeous right there? So I'm going to just add this, a little bit of glue around the outside edge. Turn this over. I am definitely a scrap card maker. I don't like scraps. I try to use them up as quickly as I can. So you will find that I use little pieces because I can find another use for the rest of it later on. I'm going to bring back in my mat real quick. Let's clean this off. And cleaning it off is as simple as just spraying it with some additional water here, grabbing a paper towel, and wiping this down. So I like texture and dimension on my cards, but I do generally like them flat. Every once in a while, I will go in with some foam tape, and we will be doing some foam tape today. When I do the foam, I love to use one of my favorite foam tapes. It is actually called the World's Best Foam Tape. It is from Pear Blossom Press, so we'll be using this. It is an amazing foam tape. It is double thickness. It also is repositionable for up to 30 minutes. And the backing tape just pulls off. It is beautiful when it peels off. So that is why I love to use it. Right now, I'm going to distress up this edge, give it a little bit of texture, give it a little bit of dimension, because as we place this down on the metallic card, I want it to pop a little bit more. I could do another layer of black or brown, but sometimes just adding a simple distress color to it is very helpful. I got a little hair on my brush here. We're using the Trinity blending brush, the Catherine Pooler Macchiato. Between the Macchiato and the Over Coffee are my two favorite Catherine Pooler inks. The first thing I do is I always tap off extra ink that I pulled up from my brush. Less is more. Same thing with watercoloring. Less is more. Put on less and then build the color up. So tap it off, slowly circle in, and bring in some dimension to this outside edge. Sometimes this takes the longest for my project. I can throw together the watercolors super fast, and then I just calmly come in here. It's soothing and relaxing. It reminds me of kind of Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. So coming in and just slow circles, blending it in, very calm, very relaxed. If we've gotten a little tension as we're watercoloring and stressing out over our project, this is the time to just relax, have fun. I'm not pressing very hard. It's a very light pressure. And just coming in and blending those edges together. And what a difference. So the watercolor paper that I use is Canson XL. It is my favorite watercolor paper. It is a really reasonable price point. That is one of the reasons I like it. I can get it at any of my local craft stores. It makes it quick and simple and easy. I do recommend, if you're going to watercolor with paper, to find one you like and kind of stick with it. Every one of them reacts a little bit different, holds water different, blends differently. So if you switch back and forth in between them, it's kind of hard to remember how much pressure, how much technique I need with each of them. And so keeping kind of consistent is helpful. If you practice with one, you want to kind of use that as your ending product. So there we go. Quick, fast, simple card. And actually, as I'm looking at this, I think I want a little bit more ink. I think I want to bring in a little bit more of that macchiato. I want just a little bit more dimension. So because of that, I'm not going to tap off as much. There we go. I'm going to bring in just a little bit more. Like I said, you can build that color up, but it's hard to take it away if you overdo it. So yes, bring a little bit more. That shimmer metallic paper just needed a little bit more dimension. You can always take your inks and go straight to the paper also. That is another way to add the inks on. I just love this brush. I love a smooth brush. It makes it so easy to blend. Again, like I said, just very calm, relaxing. Now let's take a look at that with the metallic. Oh, much better. So you can see that blend. Really beautiful. Okay, so we've got that now. So let's get this glued down. Again, sorry for that glare real quick. Okay. Beautiful. I'm going to bring in my Teflon bone folder. Help that glue bind with the paper. Kind of spreads out a little bit. Okay, so now we have this gorgeous feather that we did. And I do, like I said, want to add a little bit of dimension to it. So I'm going to grab my World's Best Foam Tape. This is a brand new roll because I used up my other one, and I have to open up a new roll today, of course. So let me open this up. Here is my foam. Just going to come in and trim a little bit of this off. So like I said, this foam is amazing. It's easy to trim down if you need to trim it down. Place a little bit here. So like I was saying, some of the benefits of it is, one, it is repositionable. So if I need to move any of my pieces around, I've got 30 minutes to move this around. And this backing paper, so many times I have to come out and pull out my pokey tool in order to get the backing paper off. This backing paper is just like butter. It just flows right off. No pressure, no nothing. It just pulls off your paper so quick, so fast. This is a double thickness. The reason why it's a double thickness is because Parablossom Press also does light up elements, which we may see in one of our next cards. And the light up elements need a little bit of height for the battery compartment. So that is why these are double thickness. You may have to pay a little bit extra for postage on this or hand deliver, but it is well worth it. So let's just come in. We're going to cover that up just a hair there. Press that down. Always make sure we close up our inks. And I do press it down just a little bit on this, because if you're going to mail it, it does press it down a little bit. But look at that shadow. Look at that. Such cute little birds peeking through the feather. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, this is Birds of a Feather stamp set by Pajama Crafters. And my name is Amanda with Nerdy Krafter. Go grab this set. Find all the amazing things you can do with it. And I hope you have fun crafting. I'll catch you later. Bye.